Big Mecha. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the penultimate episode of Mobile Suit Gundam Gquuuuuux.
It's like no.
Today, we are reviewing episode 11 of this ridiculous show. This is an interlude episode of Big Mecha, but not huge. Today, I have Wilhelm. Say hello, Wilhelm.
Hello.
Paul. Say hello, Paul.
Hello there.
Alright, so first off, he's not the Joker, so let's get that right out of the way. Second, guys, this episode of Gquuuuuux, from start to finish, was just smiles, to open mouth, to what the fuckery mouth, to, oh my god, I can't believe they're doing this. How do you feel?
I'm just gonna say this. The end of the episode literally feels like the beginning of a new season. It literally
really
feels
does.
like
It's
the
so weird.
beginning of a brand new season.
I don't understand. I don't understand why they spent half of the show with normal pacing, and then they're like, okay, in the last third, we're going to cram in everything. And they're like, what do you mean everything? And he goes, so I wrote 24 episodes, but we're only making 12. So we're going to crush 14 episodes into 3.
See,
and somebody on staff was like, how? And he said, so if you ever hit fast forward and skip on a DVD player, it's going to feel a lot like that.
When you said everything, my mind literally jumped to that scene from The Professional when Gary Oldman goes, everyone!
Yeah.
This episode had everything. It had everything we were expecting, things we weren't expecting, and at the same time, it gave us brand new questions to ask. And I can see why pacing is the way it is, because they wanted to give the impression that we actually, or give the viewer a baseline for the primary characters in the show without having to do a shit ton of backstory and flashbacks. So, and with the current pacing, yes, we are attached to Machu, Nyan, and Shinji. We care about them. So what they're going through now actually matters to us. But
yeah, but who is Shuji really?
Like, honestly, I want to know that too. I need to know that.
So this episode makes very little sense because they've given us zero backstory for Shuji, almost as if they forgot. They've had him not really do a whole lot of talking. He spoke mostly in the third person, looked like he was dazed almost the entire time, and whenever he spoke, he claimed to be fulfilling the desire of the robot standing behind him. So Shuji technically had, in a quantifiable way, almost zero personality, like a full-on cipher. Like he was possessed by the spirit of the Gundam and just walking around like a zombie. That's basically how they wrote him, and now all of a sudden
feels different.
He claims he's from the world that the Lala with the magic powers is from. So they're from the same version of Gundam, which I have to assume is the original. But Shuji literally looks like no one from the original Gundam. Like, literally no one. His age doesn't even make sense. He's younger than the cast of the original show. He should be like almost an adult. This is 6 years after the war. If he's supposed to be Amuro, the one who piloted the Gundam, or like a stand-in for Amuro, he should be in like his 20s. But they did say when they get to this world, the instability caused by the fact that they are truly not of it does make them warp. So I guess it could have turned Amuro from a 20-something-year-old man into a 16-year-old kid who looks kind of like he smokes a lot of weed and paints a lot of paintings, and maybe huffs some of the fumes
like
from his spray paint.
Reject.
Like, that could happen, I guess, but we're making a lot of leaps.
One theory that
this
I
show's
see
getting confusing.
running around is that there's two different Shujis. There's the one that we were
Mm-hmm.
introduced at the beginning of Gquuuuuux, and he disappears.
Okay.
But
Oh, and that one's the one from
Mm.
their world, so it's two Shujis.
right,
Okay. I could see that. So the one from their world is the super chill one who's just kind of there and
Yeah.
just a guy. And then the one from their world is this one that all of a sudden is like super aggressive and like I'm going to kill you all, and also, by the way, told them that their entire world is a dream
mm-hmm.
of Lala. He inferred that the entirety of Gquuuuuux is literally just caused by her being asleep. So technically it's not a parallel dimension, it's literally just a
It's Final
dreamscape.
Fantasy
So if they
X,
wake Lala up,
baby.
they all cease to
Yeah.
exist. Also, Zelda DX,
Yeah, but Zelda
the
sucks.
one with the
So,
windfish,
anyways,
literally just that. So I guess that's what we're inferring, but it's very confusing. There's a lot happening in this
so
show.
Mhm.
in this particular episode, they did mention what the Zek Novas were doing. So technically, there's four. This brings about the fourth one. But there were three beforehand. We actually got to see all three. The first one was Char. Second one was on side 6, and the third one was Obaoku.
Yeah.
So what they mentioned on the I forget the name of what White Base was turned into, but they say on the ship
Pegasus.
Green base.
Green Base. Yeah, we'll just call it
It's
Green
called the
Base.
Pegasus.
It's green
um,
base.
yeah. Oh, Pegasus. Thank
Well,
you.
that's yeah. I mean, that's basically what they call it. That's technically just the class of ship.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
literally it's
So
called Pegasus, the Pegasus class.
Yeah, they don't even
so
like
Yeah.
name it.
so in this case, they do mention that every time there's a Zek Nova, it's a massive amount of energy transporting from this universe to whatever's on the other side. So it's a massive amount of energy. And then this one, it's even more energy being brought in from the other side. So that's why they kept saying this is a real Zek Nova, because now they're dealing with space time and all that stuff. So with that in mind, you have to think, where did Char go? Char somehow ended up on the other side, and then somehow ended up coming back. So it's not the fact that he ended up transporting from one end of the universe to the other. He was literally gone and then came back,
Mhm.
right?
And literally looks like no time has passed.
It's only been 6 years. He
Correct.
would have been
Yeah.
like 23. In
Yeah,
animation, that just means
Right.
they didn't do anything.
Yeah. So we've got that. We see Shinji actually disappear, right in front of us. So he's Zek Nova to the other side.
hmm
It makes me wonder if the reason that we are getting all these Zek Novas. I mean, obviously the third one was because of them using the Rose of Sharon, and I guess using the Yomagnothu. Is that how you pronounce it? Yomagnothu.
Yomagnutho, something like that. The big flower,
It's a
the
really
flower gun.
odd name.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
named after a flower because that's what it's supposed to look like. The big flower gun.
Right. So, but when that was, firing off, it ended up transporting a lot of Obaoku to the other side.
Well,
So Obaoku
it
is
transported
basically
the
just
entirety of Obaoku. The entire thing. It pulled it from the orbit of the moon right outside the orbit of Earth. Then all of that energy just ripped everything apart because there was so much energy happening. And while it was getting torn to shreds, it blipped into a black hole and ceased to exist.
Okay. Yeah. So with that being said, it begs the question:
Mhm.
where did Char go? How did he come back? And I don't care what he did, because apparently he ended up meeting Shuji at some point, and it might have been over there rather than being over here. Or if he did somehow manage to get brought back, it was definitely over. No, I can't say that. Somehow he ended up meeting Shuji. I'm assuming it must have been on the other side, because he didn't necessarily say it was here.
That is true. And it didn't sound like he actually knew Shuji personally. Like he knew of Shuji, like from.
Well, he met him. Like that still image that we see is him, talking with Shuji, and Shuji looking up at the red Gundam the entire time.
I think that's how he knew
So
him.
he obviously knew who he was at that point in time. I don't think he knew who the real Shuji was.
Yeah, the one from the other side.
Right. And I am betting that while we are getting the original Gundam. Oh, by the way, full spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
For what?
While we are getting the original Gundam in this next episode, because obviously he shows up at the very last second here while they're playing Char's
Oh yeah.
counterattack theme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which I mean, are
You
we gonna
belong
get a
to me.
Sazabi
Uh,
next
Na,
episode?
na,
Just
na,
out of
na, na.
nowhere, you hear a Amuro, and then you just dex the fucking Gundam. Oh, that'd be
no,
great.
I am very curious to see if that this is some sort of programming thing. Because if you remember what I said earlier, not on this
Yeah.
episode but on previous ones, the naming convention for the different
Mhm.
Gundams that we have all are based on programming language. I wonder if this is all a
So
simulation.
they're just the Matrix, or not Matrix. They're all computer programs that are really complicated and happen to become sentient, kind of thing.
More than likely, because again, programming language aside, if
Hmm.
it's not Amuro in there, and we haven't seen him this entire time, and let's say that Shuji is the spirit, quote unquote, of the original
Okay.
Gundam coming in, right? What's to say that he is just going to be piloting the Gundam on his end, and then the moment that things end up becoming fully disrupted, the program ends.
Hmm.
Like with him getting rid of Lala from this universe, the program ends.
Waking her up would
Yeah,
end the program, is the logic that they talk.
It,
And
right.
remember,
Okay,
there's no Amuro at all in this show. Like, they don't even talk about him, they don't mention him, he doesn't exist. So, like, this version of reality.
Exactly. Not even
No,
his
they don't even.
dad or
And
anything.
his father was the lead on creating the white mobile suit. So it's like, if he's not the lead, then who the was working on it?
Exactly.
okay. I had a bit of a dark thought that came to me along, and it ran. It. I got it from
Tell
this.
us your dark
I got
thought.
it from your idea of it being a
So
simulation.
Sean's fault. Got it.
It's Sean's fault.
Hmm.
Um, and recently seeing a couple things of Edgar's game. What if it's literally? What if the last episode is Machu and Neon waking up, and it's them basically being trained to become new types? Because honestly, in my opinion, the new type abilities that they have came to them way too easy. What if the simulation is just a program to trick their brains into accessing it so that they can be new type soldiers for the future, for a new Neo Zeon collective?
Hmm.
And
That would be
seeing
interesting.
Char there, and having Shuji, who could literally be like a ghost in the machine, like he was a test subject who literally died there, and he's trying to stop them from going too far.
You had me until then. You had me until then. Um, I so the way that I think that it's actually going to turn out, it is possible that it is a training program. However, what is Lala in the middle of all this?
She's basically there to symbolize the perfection of new types because she was basically connected to every major new type to the Federation and the Xeon.
Sure, if Lala were there in the first place, but we've seen now two different instances of Lala where Lala also says, I know my future. I've seen what happens across multiple dimensions. I also know of this other Lala that's here. You need to go save her. That's that sort of deal.
I think it was just a
So,
programming thing to put the main character back, put her back onto the path that she's supposed to go to, like the an NPC that's literally, oh, you have your own mission you have to go back to. You've gone or to
right, but why make two of them?
to make it seem like you have a connection to the entrapped person so that you are more motivated and more emotionally invested.
I don't buy that. I don't buy that. I get the feeling that the Rosa Sharon Lala, I'm betting that she's a deviation from the standard programming.
Possibly. I do if it's not a simulation, I think that the Rosa Sharon Lala is the original timeline's Lala. Just this is what happened to her after the fight between her, Char, and Amuro that she got
Hmm.
put here. And I do think that the Gundam coming in, the original Gundam, in the original art style coming in, is going to be. I don't think it's going to be Amuro. I don't think.
I don't think so either. As much as I want it to be, I don't think
I
so either.
think it might be another Char.
Why?
Okay. They're doing this full multiverse thing, right? Who is normally we always want Char to fight Amuro. And I'm a big person who always loves seeing that. But wouldn't it be more badass to see Char fighting Char?
No, that's stupid as fuck.
Yes, a Char who thinks he knows what's going on and is in control versus a Char who just wants to see the world burn.
Nah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think that it's gonna be either an empty Gundam or the spirit of Shuji is going to be
Probably,
piloting it.
but that would then force him into conflict with both Nyan and Machu because they're not fighting each other anymore. They're both. So I appreciate two things
That was the
about that.
quickest fight I've ever saw.
The I like that in the first 2 minutes they tried to convince you that Nyan had gone insane and was gonna fight Machu, and then they basically tussle for like 30 seconds, and then they stop fighting each other, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're not enemies."
Well, do you love her reasoning as to why she was there in the first place? She goes like, I
Yeah.
honestly don't know. Things just happen.
This is just fucking just this shit is weird.
She was
Okay,
so
I don't know
quick.
what's going on, and I will say that the character I like most so far is Nyan, but that's because I'm realizing that they just didn't bother writing anyone else. She's the only one who wound up with any character. And I don't mean that they're bad at writing, it's just they like forgot. Remember when there were other characters who like served a purpose and then disappeared? There was the chick who was a Xeon spy, and we just gloss over that because she's gone and not in the show
She wasn't
anymore.
even a Xeon
Yeah,
spy.
she worked for Xeon.
She wasn't even a Xeon spy.
And then they're like, "Oh yeah, that's
Well,
why
no,
she had
she
the
worked for
Haro,"
Gearin's.
which we still haven't explained. They haven't talked about what the fuck the Haro is, why it's there. I don't. So many
Well,
unanswered
you also
questions.
notice that the Haro is so in tune
Yeah.
with Machu to the point where it actually picks up on her emotions instead of
And
Machu
not
doing
only
it.
that, but it's as in tune to her as the Fred is tuned to Nyan. So those two robots are synced to those two pilots, but they haven't told us why or what that even means. Like stuff just happens in this show. I really need them to pause
And that's exactly why I'm thinking it's a simulation.
So I could see this being a simulation, and I could
Because-
see Lala being the imprint that they used to build the simulation. They took recording of all of her stats and her data, which is why she's asleep, because she's not real, and they just used that to base the entire universe off of it as they train people. If we're going to go the full Abstergo route, I could see that being the thing. I don't think
Honestly,
that's it, by
I'm
the way.
just
I don't think this is
super
a Giants. I don't think
just
this
wanna
is
be
a
right.
simulation. I don't know what they're gonna do, and I am very confused as to how this is gonna wrap itself up so fast. I don't know, man.
Okay,
They're gonna give us a movie because I could use a
I'm gonna be
movie.
honest.
Unless they do a secret second season that we are not aware of,
They're already in talks about it.
it's got bullshit. I haven't seen anything about
It's
it.
been on Gundam Info. It's on GundamInfo.com that they are in talks about having a season 2. I'll send you the article.
Pixar, it didn't happen.
I'll send you the article. But honestly, I am just looking forward to seeing Shalia Bull fuck up Oliver. Sorry, Alexander.
Oh no, that guy stands no
You mean
chance.
Xavier?
That child is going to get slapped around, and Shalia is just going to be bored. So Shalia in this storyline is a combination of Amuro and Char. He's basically the two of them put together, as far as piloting is concerned.
Yeah, he is.
He doesn't have
he's
like
insane.
He is broken.
What?
He is broken.
Yeah, broken as fuck.
Oh, he's completely busted. Even when he's not in a robot, he's still better than everyone else.
Yeah.
That opening moment when he goes against all of Cassilia's men, he goes like, "Yeah, sorry guys, I wish I didn't have to do this." Fires on
He's
everybody.
Just apologizing as he wrecks everyone. He wipes out an entire squad and is just talking to Xavier like, "You know I'm talking to you because I don't want to kill you, right?" And Xavier's like, "Fight me!" And he's, "Bro, come on, man, what the hell? Sit down."
No, Shalia has been holding back on your.
Just 20 minutes of Shalia sighing for the next episode.
Can we talk about that theater moment for a quick second here? So,
where the Fred smashes through the wall.
Not only that, so let's start from the beginning of that. So, well, okay, let's get into the plot. That way we can get to there. So, beginning of the episode, it ends with having just firing the Yomagnothu. Nyan is feeling sick because of all the, I'm going to assume, data, but more than likely all the different souls that she's feeling. And then she hears Lala's song.
Yeah.
So we get that.
Yeah,
We
that
get a
much
fight
energy
between
from
her and
all of them.
Macho.
Everyone is like, "Oh my God, this is so." If they have any sensitivity at all, every person they show is basically freaking out and grabbing their head because they just cannot process what's happening around them.
But it gets worse after that. It gets way worse after that when towards the end.
They explained what a Zek Nova is, which I found fascinating because they hadn't explained that at all the whole show, but they gave a full, detailed explanation as to what it is.
Then.
Oh,
no,
you missed that
I
part?
want you to explain it for the audience.
Oh, okay. So the Zek Nova, the Kita Kita, or the sparkles that you see, a Zek Nova is just a really a shitload of energy, basically. But the massive, like, sparkly thing that they all see, looks like a kaleidoscope and really trippy, is apparently an expression of energy from the other universe flowing into ours and reacting with photons. It is a side effect of energy transference. It is not the actual energy transfer. I mean, it is because it's light, light's energy, but it is a side effect of the transference of energy from that external universe to the one that we're watching from. It expresses itself as light just as a side effect, like a rainbow. It's still light, it's still energy, it's just looks slightly different now. That's it.
Okay.
They haven't explained that at all up until this point, and it's interesting to know that that's apparently the legit definition. Shalia just drops it, I think, either him or the girl with the short hair. One of them legitimately just straight up explains what it is because I think somebody else is like confused or asking.
The girl on the bridge is the one who mentioned that it was all going from transferring of all that energy and mass from one side to the other.
She looks super familiar.
Mm-hmm. And that transference causes it.
The chick on the bridge, she looks super familiar.
She looked like just a random trigger character.
No, I'm talking about the one that had the Xeon helmet. Who was it?
I think she was just a random because I had never seen her on that ship before.
Oh, that girl, the tall one? They showed her earlier in the show. She was talking to Shalia at one point. She works for, I think, Cassilia, technically.
Everybody.
I mean, she was going to betray her, but I think she worked for Cassilia, but they showed her in a conversation like 3 episodes ago with, I think, Shalia, and she just straight drops and goes, hey, so when we betray Cassilia, because she's in on it, she just is totally on his side, and she's like, so when we do that, what's going to go on with blank? And they're, like, conjecturing about the future. So they've shown her before. I think she might be, at the very least, in design based off of someone from the original show, but I don't think they name her, and if they name her in the credits, I don't think she's like a core character of the original story.
Right, definitely not.
She was, shown before, and she looks like somebody from the original show, but that mostly might be an art style thing, because I mean, it's
I'm
the
pretty
military,
sure it's an art style thing.
Her hair is
up
and X color.
Have seen that particular getup before.
Also, I don't remember her name, so I don't even think they named her. And if they did, it might have been in the credits.
She just looked really familiar to me for some reason, but it could just be me.
So from that point, we end up getting the two fighting each other. We got Nian and Machu fighting each other.
10 seconds.
And as they do, not 10 seconds, it's like 45 to a minute. And it's a really cool fight because they both pull out giant plasma swords that, like...
That was weird and random. Like, no one has that weapon, and then all of a sudden they do. And I'm like, what the fuck? It looks cool, but
it was very cool.
What?
Yeah, I enjoyed that. And then after they talk to each other, like, Machu, Nian, is that you? Yeah, why are you here? I don't know. Okay, we're done.
That was it.
Yeah, it's literally just they fight long enough to realize who's in the suit, immediately stop fighting. It's like, and that is what happens when you have two characters who don't hate each other. They're like, wait, why are we fighting?
Did you notice that?
Why are you fighting?
That Char, before it's revealed that he's Char, ends up saying, "So these are the two Alpha Siders."
Yes.
Any idea what that means?
Okay, can we define that word? What the fuck does that mean?
So I'm going to assume...
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, hang on. So I think it's partially due to the fact that they are wearing Alpha Psychomus.
Oh, no, I thought they had Omegas.
No, that's what I think.
It might be Omegas, but I don't know.
I think it's just... I honestly thought it was just a classification of new type. Like a new type classification.
Oh, like the whole comic book. Oh, this is an S
Like
rank,
the
a D
Diablos and all
rank.
that other
Yeah.
shit.
Diablo felt more like a colloquial term because the only person that used it was somebody who genuinely hated them and wanted to kill them all.
That's true.
So I felt like that was more like that was a colloquial, like this is what the normal people say, and that's kind of what that felt like. Plus, it has the mystical, like a demon is not a normal
Mhm.
living thing. Alpha Cider sounds vaguely sci-fi in like the crummiest way.
It's like saying it's an
But
omen.
this show also has kind of done that, where they make up words for no reason, either when
Or
A, there's another word that would work, or B, they will define it eventually, just not now.
I'm betting, and this is going back to my previous theory, what if
Okay?
the training program is for the I want to say Char, but I want to say Charvatar because I have a feeling that he's not really Char. Um,
Charavatar, Charvatar, I'll be your
yeah,
Charvatar. Welcome to Gundam.
and remember, he originally had the Alpha Psychomu that was originally designed for the Elmeth, and the Elmeth was
Yes,
not
it was.
created.
They didn't make it, and they jammed it in the Gundam,
And if they are wearing Omega Psychomus,
which are a step
they
up.
are basically the ones who are supposed to go after him. So
Mm.
those are the primary targets, or they're the training targets. So Alpha Siders would be the ones to take on Char.
Oh, okay. So there would be, so they would be shard level new types who were able to handle him
I think
versus.
based off of what they've shown, I think that the two girls in this are leagues beyond anything in the original show, which makes sense because the original show ends in 81 is when Char's counterattack happens. No,
Mm,
84.
Mm,
I think it's 84, right?
It's no,
0084?
it's older than
No.
that.
I believe it's 0087. Let me see. Keep talking, I'll find out.
Okay, so because Char and Amuro are shown as the two strongest new types currently fighting, who aren't a vegetable or
Yeah.
dead. And any other new types that exist in the original timeline of continuity are just new types, like they exist, but they're not doing anything. So, like, they might be a new type, but it's expressing in a way that doesn't involve fighting. And they're not being pushed to evolve in a way that involves fighting.
I was way
So,
off.
like,
0093.
Mm.
93, okay, so that's like, even with what they show in the original show, they the crap that they're doing now, the girls are basically magic, and they have robots that are like way beyond what existed in Char's counterattack. The stuff that they have is a lot more advanced because I don't know. I guess Xeon is just crazier, so they poured way more money. Instead of building farms so that people could eat, they built factories so they could have cooler robots, which
Yeah.
is a choice. But
There's always a choice.
uh,
The more than more, the more and more
okay,
that I
hold
think
on.
about this, this has to be a training program of some sort. This has to be.
I mean, that's just it make it even weirder. Okay, hold on. You're the resident Ava person. How weird do we get in 20 minutes to wrap this up?
Oh, we can get really fucking weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
But on top of
Adam and
that,
Eve aren't a
I,
thing,
I,
and we don't have an alien in the basement, but
I will say this. If you haven't watched SSSS Gridman, slight spoilers here.
for the first one or the second?
First,
Oh, okay.
so
Oh, that one's just a lovely tale about how you should go outside and make friends. It's just touch grass, the anime.
okay, so that leads up to that. The end of that show, it goes to show you everything that happened was not. Well, I can't say it's not real, but it was part of a program.
Well, their entire reality was simulated for a reason, but also it was basically simulated in the same way that. Oh, sorry, slight spoilers for a game called Star Ocean 3 from like 20 years ago. Uh, Technically, their entire reality is simulated by higher dimensional beings, which I'm not going to go into the science entirely of, but yes, there are people investigating whether the reality we live in is a simulation of some sort. Because technically, it could be, because science gets really effing weird when you go into the fringes. Uh, Anywho, in that game, you are three-dimensional beings playing as the characters. That's who you're playing. They find out that they are characters in a video game, but not like Deadpool haha funny. Like they find out that they are literally a simulated reality and higher dimensional beings basically made an MMO, and they're the MMO. And you use an ability you have. You happen to gain sentience, and like borderline magic, and you essentially force your way into their world using one of the characters' ability of alteration, making it so you can exist there, and then you go yell at the game devs essentially. And then they get mad and they try to turn off your reality and everything goes black. And then one of the characters goes, "Oh no, everything's gone. Wait, if I'm here and I didn't cease to exist, then everything else should exist." And then immediately their entire universe just respawns right around him as if nothing happened. And
What
from
the
then
fuck? This sounds
forward,
amazing.
they cannot be fucked with by the higher dimensional one because the reality essentially just has a life of its own and can no longer be fucked with. Like it's gone beyond the bounds of anything they planned on, and it just exists. And
That
then,
sounds awesome.
yeah, the Star Ocean 3 is wild. I need to just replaying it. Also, fun fact, the main character starts off on a beach resort. It gets attacked essentially by a military group who blow everything up, and then within like a day and a half, the main character is being tortured in a dungeon. He is like 15.
That's full on
And
JRPG
he's
logic
just
right
a
there.
just normal fucking kid. He did nothing to deserve that. They are literally just torturing him because they don't know what's going on, and this is a lower tech planet. So the king is like mixed about it, and then he goes, "Wait, we don't really entirely understand this. So yeah, no, go ahead, keep torturing him." And they're like, "What if he dies?" And he goes, "I mean, that would suck for him."
God.
And then you have to break out of jail.
How do you mixed
So-
about that
That
shit?
game is insane.
Ugh. No.
Such a fucking
No
game.
comment.
Anywho,
Anyways,
that is technically, you aren't wrong. That could be what they're going for. If they are, I don't know, man. That's wild. That is wild.
you know what? This
Gundam
whole
has never
show's
done
been
this
wild.
before. Yeah, Gundam's never done it before, so I mean, hats off to you. We're in new
But-
territory.
Right?
They can call it. Okay, when this is over, are we going to call this a UC show?
It's not.
Because I
It's,
can't.
there's
at
no
this
way
point.
it's UC.
This is not a
There's
UC.
no way.
This is fucking magic. Like, this is just fantasy bullshit. None of this crap is grounded in any way. Gun always had, like, a sprinkling of magic, but they're, like, talking about teleporting from other worlds and, like, people with fucking borderline magical connections to robots and, like, teleporting people in and out and all this other crazy shit. It's like, guys, this is not a UC show. This is the type of stuff you do in like Reconquista, Gundam Wing,
Oh, Gundam
Double
Wing
O,
was-
IBO. You don't do this in UC. UC is supposed to be like grounded and normal.
You
The
are
fuck?
literally being traumatized by someone taking your state. Like, this is my safe space. This was like the thing that doesn't change. Yeah, like,
This was my foundation. There was an entire episode in one of the UC shows dedicated to how wild it was that a dude could pilot a suit
Yes.
with one arm.
yes, and how long? No, I
Same
did.
universe.
Wasn't that like 2 episodes of him first them attempting to build it?
Well, it was 2 episodes because not only is it about how wild he could do that, because to them that's insane, he did it all alone, built it himself, and then it was also about the main character losing his fighting spirit and becoming disillusioned by battle, which is actually a really good story to tell in a show about war. Yeah, that was also half the story. So it's broken into 2 pieces where each episode tells half, and I think the second episode has the big fight, which is just melancholic because the only reason this dude is fighting is because he was fucked over by the people above him who are like, "Oh, we were never going to mass produce that. We were lying to you." And he's like, "Fuck you. I'm going to go blow up the Gundam." And they're
Yeah,
like,
no,
"Wait,
no.
we didn't want you to do that." And he says, just flicks him off with his one good hand and throttles that
Oh,
thing up
wait,
to
no,
11.
it wasn't. No, we weren't
And then-
gonna. We didn't want you to pilot it. We just wanted you to put it together.
Yeah, even though he fucking designed this thing to be, you literally can't pilot it with 2 arms. Like, you have to know exactly what he did to it for it to work. He designed this shit so custom. There's no way anyone else could pilot it but him at that point in the show. I don't know what magic they thought they were going to pull. It would take months to reprogram and rebuild the cockpit. That's insane. Why would you let him finish it?
I don't know.
Whatever. Xeon was never. They were never known for their ability to look forward because they probably wouldn't have spent all that time infighting during a war and spent more time
Yeah.
winning the
Yeah.
war.
Yeah.
So
maybe don't shoot each other in the back when you're still haven't won against that enemy who's trying to blow you
Cecilia
up.
each
has
other
a
in the
very
back.
Saying.
short lifeline after Giran dies.
Okay, are we gonna? I need to know what the fuck. Did she ever, in an episode where I missed it, express that she wanted to genocide the planet Earth? Because she says that out loud in this episode, and
Yep.
I'm very
Nope.
confused.
I'm like, I was like,
Where the fuck did that come from? Cecilia, what do you mean you want most of humanity to die? What are you talking
it came out
about?
of freaking nowhere. They literally went, oh, how do we make Cecilia crazier? Like,
A bad guy. Because she's technically. I think they made her sympathetic too much, and they realized that in this episode. So they're like, fuck, we have to make her a bad guy. And they're like, okay, well, she's going to try to kill Shar, then she's going to get mad at Nyan, then she's going to yell about genociding Earth. At that point, the audience should hate her.
yeah.
I don't. I'm very confused, because it feels like Cecilia had a psychotic break.
She's had a lot going on.
Yeah, she did just kill her brother. So her dad died, she killed her brother. Like, her week has been
Honestly,
just
I think
absolutely
Cecilia
packed.
was literally like, oh shit,
Oh.
I have 1 day left to live. Literally. And she's like, what do I want to get done in that day? Okay, I want to kill my brother, destroy his entire fleet, and then destroy the Earth.
But she wasn't
Yeah,
dying, so why would she even make that choice? Like, she doesn't have a terminal illness. She was fine. This is just a normal coup right up until
I
everything
would have
goes
been
wild.
fine if they just let the Cassilia story end at her performing the coup and taking over the thing. Let that be the last we have to deal with Cassilia. And then,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then the rest is just new type bullshit story stuff,
But they
and we don't even
went
have to
out
see
of
it.
their...
But she's
She's
the
just
only
there.
one who can see the light.
No, they went out of their way to make it seem like
What?
Cassilia was a freaking radical. Like, beyond... I'm like, I already thought she was a
I don't know where
groomer.
that came
but-
from.
That literally... It's...
Damn, Paul. From the allegation. Allegedly. We can't just say those things. You gotta say allegedly.
I mean, nah, we saw it.
No, we saw it.
I don't want the Cassilia
I'm
stands
sorry.
coming
Fuck
for
them
us.
You know what?
too.
You know what? Let them explain what she is doing in a bathrobe along with a young teenage girl brushing her hair and feeding her.
That wasn't a bathroom.
Well,
that was
obviously.
just a regular
That was
room.
a bedroom.
That was her
They
bedroom.
were.
That was Cassilia's
I-
room. That was
I
her
didn't
private. That's the same room where she shot that other
I
child
didn't
2
say
episodes ago.
bathroom. I said
Remember
bathrobe. They were both in bathrobe.
Ah, okay.
Close enough.
Yeah. So no.
Yeah.
But let's continue the plot real quick because I think we're deviating a little too much here. So they end up having their fight.
What is it?
Then
Oh.
it comes to where Shar has been watching them. He mentions that they're both Alpha Siders, and then as he's trying to scuttle away, Cassilia finds him.
Scurry, scurry, scurry like Zoidberg.
Now, the interesting thing here, do you know that location? Like, does that ring any bells to
It
you?
reminds me.
You know that theater there?
That's where Abraham Lincoln got shot in the back of the head.
Yes, but also it's where a very defining moment from Zeta Gundam happened as well.
Oh, I would have to have watched
Yeah,
that
I
to
haven't
recognize
seen
that.
Zeta.
So you're gonna want to explain.
Damn it, Will. I believe it's been a long time, but it's an area where it was Shar versus Haman Khan,
Mm.
and somebody gets shot
who was
there.
the reincarnation? He was the reincarnation of Z, honestly, and it was him yelling at her as Quattro, who at that point believed wholeheartedly not in Xeon, and then over the course of Double Zeta, kind of slowly makes his way back to being Shar and being a Zeke
Well,
again.
on top of that, he also ends up going just absolutely nuts. But
Oh yeah, he does. The movie version of him is crazy. He's like, it's almost like he's
pretty
lost
much,
his
like
mind.
as soon as everything from Double Zeta ends, he just completely loses it. Double Zeta is the only thing
Off
from
the deep end.
up to Shar's counterattack that I have not seen, so I'm going to be watching that soon.
I don't know if I assume he's in it, but I don't know
think
how integral he
and
is.
Amuro maybe cameos in it, and I think Camille shows up towards the end.
He does. I think they take him out of the very, very dark ending of Zeta,
Yeah,
and he
he's
like
no
wakes
longer in a
up.
vegetative
So
state
that's
anymore.
good. Yeah, that was a really fucked up way to
Well, they
do
go
him
from
like that.
Char's counterattack to
Like-
Victory Gundam, which is a Kill 'Em All series set in the UC. So it's like, okay,
Oh, Victory! I've heard Victory is like that's a hard watch.
you know what's really,
Mhm.
you know
It's
what's really
real
funny
dark.
about all these? Just to sidestep again, every single one of these shows have some really upbeat opening theme songs,
Yes, they do.
but then everything else just goes
They
really
do.
fucking dark. Like if you,
Well, the original show has just Amuro do a great job, take care of us all, and then like that's the same opening where you're gonna hear that and immediately go into here's the episode where he meets his father, who is basically brain damaged from being in the
Yep.
vacuum of space. Have fun with that for 20
Yep.
minutes, and you're just like Jesus Christ, this show.
yeah, that show gets really
I still
dark,
love
love
and
that
you don't
theme song.
expect it.
I still love the original Gundam theme song.
Kido Senshi Gundamu.
Oh,
Yep.
Ito Senshi. I can feel the suits and the bell bottom every time I hear that
Oh, yeah.
song. I can feel
Dude,
it.
I first heard that song when I was playing Journey to Jaburo back when I was a kid. That song has been cemented
Oh, yeah.
into my fucking mainframe. It's never leaving.
Oh, it's so good.
But anyways, so Cassilia confronts this blonde person who ends up becoming, known as Char. He even, pulls his hair back to where he looks like he's straight up the Char's counterattack version. I'm like, good lord.
Yeah, he slicks it back, and my brain's
Ooh,
like,
yeah,
that's serious Quattro Char's counterattack vibes.
Yeah.
You put him in shades, Zeta. You take the shades off, counterattack.
And then fucking Machu, she ends up busting through the ceiling, ends up falling headfirst into the floor.
Out of nowhere, and just she full on Looney Tunes
wait, no, I
right in
completely
front of both
forgot.
of them.
I completely forgot. So after their fight, Machu kicks Nyan away, and then she unloads the limiter. Like she shoots at the limiter that's inside the Gquuuuuux
Yeah, she breaks
Yes.
system.
She shoots the
breaks
Saikamu
up
like
the
unlocker
microphone.
thing, and it basically just shows a message on screen saying that the limiter has been released, meaning that the Gquuuuuux can do, I guess, whatever it wants now, and it proceeds to
yes.
create
I was,
small
Yes,
black holes.
I was like,
around
oh
its body.
my
I don't know,
god,
very
that's
confusing.
amazing.
like,
Like, what the fuck
And
are
then
you
she-
doing? What does that even?
She reaches into
What do you mean?
the field that is,
you know,
I want
she
to say,
couldn't touch it,
protecting
right?
the
You
element.
couldn't touch
Well,
it.
she ended up breaking through it.
She couldn't touch it.
So-
She
ended up breaking
couldn't
through
break
it.
through it. She had to
She
pull off
unplugs the
thing.
nightlight.
Like, cause she,
That was the point.
She
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
she
what
unplugs
she
the
was
nightlight.
doing. That was the whole point.
and then the giant gun is no longer
And then-
a giant gun. It is now just
And
a
then as
big
soon as
hunk
she
of
does
metal.
that, that's when Ghost of Shuji shows up and is directing Machu to go, somewhere. And Nyan sees it from afar.
Oh yeah.
Force
Jedi
goes
And then
Force
Nyan
Ghost
sees it from afar and she
Shuji.
goes, Shushan! Yeah. That's
Yep.
when Machu falls through the ceiling.
Force Ghost Shuji,
Yeah,
who just
That's
points,
when she falls through the ceiling.
and then she splats through the ceiling, and then Nian essentially just bumps
Still
through
going,
the wall.
Shuji, where are you?
But she does it. She bumps through the wall in a giant robot, so the wall
Yeah.
explodes. And oh god, that's such a good moment. She just smashes through the wall, and she's
Yeah.
like, "Lady Castilia, what
Char
are
ends
you
up
doing
taking
here?"
Machu and then ends up gliding away, ends up hitting into the floor, protecting Machu the entire time. They end up floating away further down the hall to where the Rose of Sharon is. And then Char magical girls back into being the Red Comet.
Oh, he does. I forgot about that. He full on Maho Shoujo transformations into
particles,
Char
it
from
was
the 1 year
glide
war.
over.
It was
Oh,
amazing.
it's so good.
Pew, pew. I'm like,
Oh,
And that's when
so
Machu
good.
finally is like, oh
And
my
then when
god,
it
are you
happens-
Char?
it was like,
To be fair, she's never seen him
She's never
outside of that
seen
outfit.
him.
She has
She's
no
never
idea
seen
what he looks
Cassilia.
like.
Literally, when she drops down head first, she goes like, who are you two?
Yeah, she's just really confused. But when he turns into Char, she have seen pictures of Char in like her school books and all that other shit. So like she would recognize his outfit. She would have no idea who they are as
Right.
people.
So
God, that's so
then
good.
he gets the idea
Oh.
saying, I need to, take care of this girl.
Oh, he has to go kill Lala.
Well,
he has
he
to put her
said,
down
I need to
like Old
remove
Yeller.
her. He didn't say kill her. He said remove her.
Oh yeah, because remove has so many definitions in
Yeah,
a show
and-
with
Well,
the military.
also,
We need to remove that obstacle.
If you
Oh,
watch
really?
the subs, it actually says we need to have her disappear. So
Which could mean home.
possibly.
It doesn't matter.
So
It's
while
Char
that
saying that.
happens,
That usually means that that person has to die. Anytime I've ever heard
I
yeah,
Char
mean,
say
I
somebody has to be,
he has a habit of removing his obstacles with explosives, guns, giant
that
robots,
is
more
true. But
explosives.
again, this Char has been proven to be quite different.
no, he
So
hasn't.
you never know.
He was already
Yeah.
plotting. He wanted to kill Cassilia and everyone on Luna too.
Yeah, so he
With
could take over.
the thing,
Yeah,
like, no, he's more bloodthirsty than the other one.
He wanted to end the war. No, he's not. He's just as bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to kill Cassilia. He was willing to blow up the base she was in, but, like, how else was he going to get to her? As cold as that
Okay.
sounds,
I mean,
in military
yeah,
logic, blowing up an entire base to kill a high value target is worth it depending on the target. It really depends on the target, but there are times when detonating an entire building for one target is worth it depending on what you're shooting at. Now, I'm not going to go into the morals of that because collateral damage is real and that's really
All I
fucked
hear
up
is
and I
Vegeta.
don't like war. But
All I hear is Vegeta.
I will kill as many of you as I have to. I will kill as many as I have
Yep,
to as
that's
long as
all
you
I
are one of
hear.
them. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty much the logic. That actually is bloodthirsty as that sounds. Yeah, that pretty much defines
All I
it.
heard. I will
Jesus.
kill as many people as I have to.
I will kill as
As long
many
as
of
you
them
are
as I
one of them.
have to, as long as you are one of them. God, I love that show.
Yep.
Oh, TFS's version, so
yeah.
good.
So from
Ah,
there, Nian, she's outside of the out of the G Fred, and she's talking to Cassilia. Cassilia's like, "Why are you
yep.
here? Oh, you feel sick? Who the fuck cares?"
Yeah, yeah. She's just real bitchy,
Yeah, and
real
that's
bitchy to
when
her.
she like becomes like super genocidal, and then you see
Yep.
Machu. She's floating away. She glimpses her body like floating away from the other side, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you stand with Char? I'ma fucking kill
Yeah.
you, and that's when Nian shoots her
Hmm.
in the back.
Yep.
Oh, it's so good. I love that so much because it says so much about the character. She's truly at no point does she actually care about Castilia. She only cares about her friends, and you pushed her to actually shoot at someone, and you severely did the math wrong on her
Oh yeah.
actually liking you.
Yep.
Oh, I really like that though because again, the bond between Nyan and Machu is a real one, and the bond that Castilia thought she had where she was manipulating her was literally just like manipulation. It meant nothing. Nyan is so guarded that it takes time to build something with her. She's experienced too much loss, trauma, and hardship in her life to actually build anything with another person. So I'm not going out on a limb by saying basically the only two people she's even remotely opened up to are the guy who tried to kill her, sorta, but
Yeah.
then he died. She vaped him, and then Xavier, but Xavier's still at arm's length, and then Machu's like literally the only living person that Nyan actually has some form of connection to.
Hmm.
That's also why Nyan makes the most sense as the one who would be willing to. I'm not going to put a number on it, but I'm going to assume it was 4, possibly 5 digits in size of human life that she wiped out in one attack. Possibly 5. Because it was
5 terabits,
multiple,
if we're gonna go
multiple,
with data.
multiple cruisers, an entire. It was an entire base that is a fucking meteorite or an asteroid that they fly around. It was so many cruisers, all of those completely wiped out
Hmm.
because she pressed the fire button. And then she was willing to do it again because it would get her what she wanted. Because she, unlike Machu, doesn't have that like soft, gooey core of like human kindness and human like love. So Nian sees it as fractional. I do this thing, I might see Shuji, and she is 100% willing to
For
do
Shuji.
anything, which is why the Vegeta comparison is apt. She's 100% willing to do literally whatever it takes, full stop, to get what she wants. And at the moment, that's Shuji. The only exception to that is she won't actually fight or hurt Machu
Hmm.
to get to Shuji. So that's the only like exception. Everyone else, she would be willing to completely crush underfoot, which is I don't see as a mark of her being bloodthirsty or violent. I see it as a mark of her being so broken and so traumatized that she can't empathize with the average like other person. She just doesn't see people that way because she can't because she's never been able to. The closest you have is her relationship with
Hmm.
Machu, and even that's at the beginning. So a lot of therapy before she actually gets around to like thinking of other people as like more than just a piece to be used to do something.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I can see all that, but Will, we need to go over one last thing. You know what that is?
The end credit sequence.
Yes, sir.
Nothing beats the
So we
moonlight.
get to the point where Machu wants to stop Char from killing Lala or making her disappear or removing
Mhm.
her. And as soon
Or
as
whatever it
they
is he's
end
gonna
up,
do.
touching butts, so to speak,
Mhm.
a
What?
giant light shows up, and it's Ghost
Light
Shuji.
Yagami?
Yes. This was pivotal because at this point, Shuji's like, "Can't you see that she's doing this for you? Well, I'm gonna remove this entire world." And then Char's like, "What the fuck? Who the hell are you?" And during that time, we get the theme song from Char's counterattack called "Beyond the Time." And what do we fucking get at the very end?
The oh,
Grandpa Gundam.
the original RX-78 flying through
Yes.
Which at this
slowly.
point I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say would be woefully inadequate to remotely be able to fight either of the main characters because one of them has laser funnels.
Yeah.
So on top of that, if you haven't watched this series in a long time, towards maybe about 2/3 of the way through the original show, Amuro says, "I'm too fast for the Gundam. It is not keeping up with me."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where 0080 comes from. 0080 was the Gundam Alex, which was supposed to be the second iteration of the Gundam, and they were testing it with normal pilots because the only new type they had was Amuro, and
Hmm.
so they were basically taking it on hope that when they
Unaccepted.
sent it out to him in the field, he'd be able to do final adjustments. They even said, I think at some point, that the final adjustments were going to be performed in the field by Amuro with him, and that would actually attune it to him so he could pilot it.
Yep.
Of course, 0080 happens, and then it gets all fucked up, and he never gets it. And instead, the Gundam Mark II doesn't happen until Zeta. But that was the original plan because he, about 2/3 of the way through the series, has gotten so good so fast that he is quicker than the robot, and he has to hold himself back so that he's piloting. He's piloting a tank when he should be piloting like a Formula One car.
Yeah.
So that's how
Right.
it feels to him.
Yeah. So that's why another reason why I don't think that it's Amuro coming through,
Just the robot.
because strictly just the robot. Because if it is something that's programmed, it's going to be something that's going to try to be on par with the G Fred and the G Clux.
Which would not be that. Although when things come completely from one to the other, they transform. So maybe, given the song they were playing, it lands in their world and like it magical girl transforms because that's what it's going to look like into like Hainu or something crazy like that. And we get the
Ooh.
first animated iteration of a suit that has existed for so long.
I would love to see
God
Hainu.
damn.
I
Yeah,
would
how's that
love
for
to
fan
see
service?
Hainu. Oh.
Oh man, why do you have to say that? Ugh.
Yeah, that would be great. And then that shit just launches six giant funnels the size of mobile suits, and all of a sudden the two main characters are like, "I think that we're gonna lose." And Char
Speaking of the
looks at them
funnels, did you
both.
see that? Did you see that Machu actually grabbed one of her funnels and tried to use it as a
Oh,
mobile
boomerang.
a manual
Yeah,
weapon?
she
Yeah.
grabbed it out of mid-flight and like threw it at her,
Yeah. She
which can
grabbed one
be
of
That was
done.
insane.
Nion's
You can legit do that
funnels.
because you can still interact with them. It's just the only person who would be able to like reach to how they move is someone who is also a new type because they're moving around so much. Shalia gave away the secret, which is that funnels look random because they're being controlled by a person. Yeah, like, yeah, there's a bunch of programming in there, but it is still the will of a person. And the way he's explaining it, I would liken it to a video game. I am not directly in control of the thing that I am remotely controlling, the character on screen, but I
Hmm.
am still like it's still subject to my will. So my personal choices, my personal fighting style, my patterns that I fall into, all of that still takes place. So if you know how I work, you can then move around it. So you can watch it, pay attention, and then you can adjust to it. So you're still playing against the person remotely. And that's how funnels essentially work, which is cool.
Yeah. And it's it's great that that they finally explained it, how the funnels moved around, how they were controlled, and honestly, I loved how strong Shalyabul is and how useful he is right now.
Considering that he died after one episode in the
It's so
original
weird to
series,
make
yeah.
him into this like demigod in this show when in the original show he basically shows up as one trick pony to just get killed off that episode. It's so weird.
What's really funny is that his entire thing in the original show kind of is what this show ends up piggybacking off of, where he comes from multiple new type teams, and each team that he's on dies, and it's more than likely because of him.
Hmm.
Probably.
And so then we get this, and it's like, yeah, I have a pretty competent new type team.
Hmm.
So, even so, I am incredibly excited for the finale this coming Tuesday. Guys, what is your hype rating for this? Like on a scale of 1 to 10.
Jesus.
No, what? I'm gonna go with my excitement is at a 5.
I am removing you from
No,
this
I have
podcast.
a reason for
He is
putting a
gonna
5.
take that personally.
I have a reason for putting it at 5 because I don't want to be overhyped for it because I haven't been overhyped for any episode and I've loved every single one. I want
You don't want
to
to
watch it
spoil
and
All
your
right, you can
reception.
you secured your
yeah,
seat.
I'm not overly excited about it because I know how some things go, how like anime can literally turn on its head, and apparently this show is playing with a fucking top, and it keeps spinning every other fucking episode. So I'm just no,
Quatception.
I'm just giving it. I'm giving it a 5. I'm excited to see the next episode, but I'm controlling my excitement. I'm moderating it. I'm waiting to actually see what happens. I don't want to go put too much into it.
So, Will, what about you?
8.5 because I want to know how it ends, but it's just been such a crazy like 3 episodes for the last 3 episodes. I don't even know what's going on anymore. I have so many questions. I don't know how many of them will be answered. Pretty sure they won't all be answered. But I have no idea where this is going. Like we were doing okay at like minor predictions before. I have no clue what the end of this is supposed to be anymore. I don't even know like what meta narrative we're going for. I don't know, man. I'm just here.
Here, just gonna enjoy it. Gonna go for the
Yeah.
ride.
Like it's gonna oh if I hope that it's like animated really, really well and just like gorgeous. And then we just go out on a high note.
Mhm.
I hope so too.
Well, I swear to God,
Obviously, I've been at a
if I
10.
see a pair of fucking hands and glasses with steeple hands in front of it, I am going to drive out to Sean's house and punch him in the mouth because it's because of people like him liking that show that gives Anno such power. It's just not right. The Fred is already just Unit 1, so I don't know.
Yeah, but Ano also did all the Shin movies, so
Yeah, this is
you
kind of
know.
Shin Gundam at this point.
It is. It really
Yeah, no,
is.
this is. I very much feel like this is Shin Gundam. Like the way he wrote it originally, if it had stuck to that, a like kind of weird retelling, that would have been Shin Gundam. But because that's all he wrote, that's where his influence kind of stopped at that level, and it became whatever they wanted to do afterwards. Which is why it kind of turns into a Trigger show all of a sudden, because that's who was working on it. But yeah, no, I don't know where we're going.
Kara Trigger, it's all
Yeah,
the
I'm
same.
here. I'm here for whatever the fuck we're gonna do. Like at this point, I just want to know what's their version of the ending for this because it's gonna be wild.
Well, it's only a few more days until we get
Yeah,
it.
it's already just a couple days from now. So,
Mhm.
Yeah. So my excitement level, it's been 10. It's always
hmm
been 10. I just can't wait because every single time that, like, even though we got like the first 3 episodes, which were the
hmm
movie, I'm like, you know what? Don't care. It was fun to
such a
watch.
good
And
movie.
then once we actually got to the point where we started getting new content, it's just elevated my
Yeah,
hype every single time, and it's been great. And honestly, when it comes to predictions, as much as I want it to be, the simulation thing, because I feel like that's something that we can get across multiple shows that won't get too tiresome, because as long as they do it right, I'm cool with it. Even if they don't do that, I am still excited to see where it goes,
hmm
because if for whatever reason it doesn't end and then there's a surprise season 2, I'm
Or a
gonna
movie.
be even more hyped for season 2.
I'm okay with
Or
just
a
a movie
movie.
to tie it up, like an hour and a half to tie up
Yeah.
all the loose threads, but an hour and a half that's at that point been cooking in the oven for like a year because they'll be sitting there working on it and release it like next year in May or something. Oh, that would be
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
I've always
Yeah,
said that.
exactly. So I'm excited no matter what. But guys, that is it for this week. We will come back next week for the Gquuuuuux finale and
Bucks no
what was
more.
originally going to be the season 2 finale
What?
for Transformers Movie 5: The Last Night. We have determined that there will be one additional bonus episode. Guys, are you ready for Robot Jocks?
Okay,
I was born ready.
I only have one thing to say. Are you ready to rock and roll?
God damn it, they don't even say that. They say crash and burn. I fucking hate you. Goodbye, everybody.
Much love. Night, everybody.
All right, good night, y'all.